For those of you who'd like access to this content, follow the link in the description box, visit our Patreon page, and subscribe to the Black Kluge tier. For a mere $5 a month, you get access to the alternate Sunday episodes you've been missing, only available on Patreon, as well as the weekly Tuesday episodes. But wait, there's more. If you subscribe to the Black Kluge tier, you'll also get 2 weeks advance notice to our Thursday sessions. And if you needed any more incentive, when we have bonus episodes, Patreon is the place where you're going to find them. Also, don't forget to check out Teepublic for our great swag. The link is also in the aforementioned description.
She never gave up pot. Why do you think she laughs like a witch?
Who is it?
She got me a $500 fine because of her big mouth, disturbing the peace with that fucking cackle. I had to pay Ernie D. Benedetto $500 to go to court for disturbing the peace because I didn't run to the radio fast enough to turn her cackle down.
We did the old-fashioned, but it ended up being in vitro.
It did?
Yeah.
Well, I could have done
I
it.
knew fresh baby would be a science experiment.
I'll let that one slide. Fat, malicious.
Oh, no, stop it. Oh, my God. Oh, stop it. That's a Fred. No, that's uncalled for.
Disgusting witch.
Well, I guess I tweeted it out to the fans on Robin's birthday. They made fun of me because I had airbrushed myself. I look like I'm 19.
I didn't think you had airbrushed yourself.
But I airbrushed myself for you. Beth is the one who said, oh, you should tweet the picture. You look nice. I tweet it. Next thing I go, you fucking asshole. You're airbrush. I go, this is the last. By the way, no more pictures to the fans of me. Yeah, I know it's airbrush, cocksuckers. Fuck you. It was for Robin. She want to look at a 900-year-old Howard Stern. You're such dicks. I hate my fans.
I called into the show for years when I lived in Vegas. I had all kinds of odd jobs. And you know how many people stopped me and said they love my calls?
Zero.
None.
Right.
That's
Zero. And I used to put you on a lot, but I mean, it kind of just happened.
Yeah.
You were patient and you waited.
Jerry, look at his schnoz on some of those fucking Channel 9 shows. There's a hook in the fucking...
John Hine Master.
I mean, so I went, listen, as a fan, okay? As a fan, when I came in here and met Howard, I'm like, my God, that's a nose job. I mean,
wonderful nose job.
I can remember being at Dag Hammarskjöld Plaza. I was 2 feet from the guy. His nose was extraordinary. You could have caught fish with the fucking thing.
It seemed to me like it was a love story that a month later you were divorced.
It wasn't a month later. It was several years later.
Come on.
What do you, come on? What am I lying?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, what do I got to lie for? I'm divorced over 10 years now. I have to make that up for.
You've been with Beth for like 9, right?
Yeah.
All right, well. Would you get like divorced and then meet Beth the next day?
Just about, yeah. No, I got divorced after I was separated. And then I got divorced. I don't know. It was a year or two. I'm not good with dates, but the fact is that when I did the movie, what can I tell you? I thought my marriage would last forever. Shit happens,
JD answering a question right now.
Yeah, I'm like Mushmouth over there.
Welcome, ladies and gents, to QF, a podcast about Howard Stern. I'm your host, Phil Moore, a.k.a. Jim Fix, and with me for this particular ride down Hamptons Lane is Miss Kayla. How are you, my dear?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, peachy keen. I just thought she didn't have any. I always give the co-host the chance to choose something that's down their alley. C.A. Thompson has a great angle that I've been not an angle, but a bookend to an angle I was trying to do that I'll let you guys find out about when it gets released, which will be
good
tomorrow. Has to do with KC. And with you, I suggested, I always give people the suggestions, like if they want to, if they don't have anything on their mind. But is there a saga you'd like to tackle at some point, but like personally, that means something to you?
Yeah. Well, there's two. I think one of them's going to be too dark and too nasty. It's when the porn star Jesse James came in and rode the Sibian, and it's super creepy. It's so creepy that it's disturbing, and Gary was like really perverted in it. Like he was like over the top. I thought like it was so nasty.
Okay, so I vaguely remember it. Was it a video you saw, or I mean, it would be censored, but
I don't recall seeing the video of it. I just remember hearing it, and it disturbed me. Like it just felt like that mob mentality, and like this poor girl. Yeah, I get she's a porn star, but stop, right? Like she's still a human. And so she was like not wanting to do it anymore, but they kept going, do it more, do it again. And it was so gross.
Was it, well, what about, a lot of people are, not a lot, but they did for the longest time ask us to do the crystal clear segment that Artie, he does the voice. And I've been resistant just because it's such a bad look. Like, even though Artie is funny, I felt bad for the girl. I really did.
I did too. I remember that one. I don't think this one is as bad as that one, honestly, because that one got really personal and it got really dark and just sad. The one with, so I wouldn't want to do that one either. But this one with Jesse James was more like, ew, it was just so like.
More revealing of them. Yes.
And that would be the angle on it, not to humiliate her, but more, you just nailed it, to reveal, like, especially Gary, who I wouldn't expect Gary to be so gross, but he was.
I think the other one would have been like the one where the guy brings his sister in and asks offers to get her nude in order to get, I can't remember what it was, tickets for something, and she starts crying.
Yeah.
And, that one was when Richie discussed the interview we did with him, and it was, I mean, if that was supposed to be set up, which I don't believe it was, even though it was during the era of things getting set up quite often as bullshit, as to act like they're real, it didn't come off that way. So I think it was absolutely on as like real, and whether she was his actual sister or not is irrelevant. She clearly was so uncomfortable, and they kept her on as opposed to just saying, let's just get rid of them, get rid of them, it's fine.
Yeah.
And they didn't have, but they, like Howard, I got like a true lazy asshole. I have to fill up time, so it's better to have this discomfort in the room. Anyway, this one, guys, is called Beer Pong with Howard. It dates back to, I think, 2008 sometime, and he's in the Hamptons, and Grandpa, Grandpa, I don't know. I see Sloucho Marks is still good. Wig Vomit. There's all kinds of nicknames, but Howard essentially decides he's going to stay up past his bedtime and peruse the place. And Beth is not too happy about it.
Was she there? I can't remember if she was there or not.
She was there, and so there's lots of name dropping. But what's funny about the name dropping is also that he needed someone with him to like tell him who was who and what they're famous for.
God, nerd. God, he's such a dork.
Now, granted, I fancy myself a person of the world, and I know things about people, and I know like famous people, but I'm not 100% knowledge of. I don't have 100% knowledge of the Hamptons crowd. Like Leon Black, like these financiers, I would definitely have to be told who a lot of these people are, because their names mean something, but their faces may not.
Of course, that's different. And I would also go as far to say that like any kind of new young, actor, actress out on the scene nowadays, I'm probably not going to know who that is, just because I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't really know all the
You're not watching
people.
Kissing Booth?
Well, of course I have to watch that and Bachelorette and The Bachelor and all. Yeah. No, I don't, by the way.
Okay. Fair enough.
True. I will confirm. Billy Joel and wife Katie Lee capped off the summer on Sunday with a barbecue blowout at their new Sagaponic spread, formerly owned by Roy Scheider. Howard Stern played some competitive beer pong with Ivanka Trump. How's this? All of a sudden,
just the imagery of this stick insect with with Ivanka Trump. I mean, she's had a lot of work done. And so I've seen pictures before and after of her, and she is gorgeous. She's not my type. It's just blondes, everybody knows that story. But no offense to anybody on the show and everybody listening, but the before and after is starkly like it's just starkly amazing, the transformation she's had. And next to him, he's had plastic surgery, and this is the result.
Yeah. Look. that Catwoman lady next to him would probably look better, or at least they would look equal. Like he's a hideous freak.
He is.
I don't recall any work about her, but if I were to look at side by sides, absolutely, I'm sure I'd be able to see it. But yeah, I think she's gorgeous. And I feel like she's kind of tiny also. So next to him, that would not be,
Well, he dwarfs normal people. Like if Tom Cruise sat next to him or stood up next to him, it really would be like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, you know. But he's freakishly tall. I mean, there's just no. And doesn't his frame make him seem taller anyway?
Yeah, it's that, and the way he holds himself. It's not that he's tall. That's nothing. It's. He is tall, but like, look how many men are super tall, but they're still hot. You know what I mean? Like, it's not because he's tall. It's because he looks like a question mark. He looks like he's all hunched and he's super gross and he's that hair. It's just the whole everything combined is nasty.
Don't you agree that if he went bald, he'd look 100 times better?
Yes. He would.
Instantly.
He really would, and I'm not even being funny. He would. We've all seen it. Somebody they photoshopped or AI, I don't remember, of a bald version.
Yes, I did. I have a couple. Yeah, they did Photoshop, and I've used it in some of the Photoshops, but it was someone else's work. I would have eventually figured out how to do it. But he looks, I don't know, more sophisticated.
Yeah, he just looks more regular that way. Like, it's not, look, he's still not attractive, but that's not really he's not, okay? He's not. But take away that stupid hair and this look he's still trying to have at this age. It's ridiculous. And just look like a man. But he can't just look like a man, you know?
No, he cannot.
Well, I went over to this party, right? I got invited.
You're in the scene officially.
Listen, listen to this. This is a great story. Beth is friends with Katie.
Yeah, I know. Katie seems very nice.
Very nice girl. And
you wonder how often they hear from her anymore now that she's no longer married to Billy?
0.
You figure that's as shallow as it gets, right? She's not famous anymore because she's not with him, or that's like, well, they're going to trade, like they're going to get they want the more famous person in the divorce.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. She was just like, she was an accessory to Billy Joel. That's all she was. And so, I bet it probably wasn't long after they divorced that it just faded.
Completely. Yeah. And I'm sure she moved away anyway. So it wasn't like she had to like see these people and make it uncomfortable for them.
They talk, they text message a lot. I hate that text message. But then I get excited when there's a text message.
When you hear that bong, you get excited.
Don't you? Who is that?
Who is it?
And then it'll be like, hi. You know, it's some dumb message, you know.
Well, you can't write a lot.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. But I get excited when I hear the text message.
I love what some of my, like with technology, I suck, but I've got into that text messaging because a hot chick taught me how to do it. That's why you get into it.
Well, yeah.
And then, but I have buddies who try to text me stuff and they don't know. Like my one friend tried to text me my other friend's number, and he texted me my number.
For a certain generation, it's not surprising, unfortunately.
No.
Poor Mrs. Fillmore. She has like she's not a slow learner, but she's definitely a step-by-step person with tech and with like, you know, typing on computers and stuff like that. Like she's a good typist and all that stuff. But when it comes to, you know, the minutia of downloading, converting, you know, files and stuff, she gets so frustrated. I want to go like, what happened to the old shit we had? Notepad. Just go on, type some shit, send it. It was as simple as fine. Now it's got like 3 different formats, 4 different formats. Fuck off. Windows. Bill Gates, and what's his name? What's his name that died?
I don't even know his name.
Steve Jobs. Go fuck yourself.
Enough already.
Enough.
Which is funny.
Well, yeah, it's horrible. I love that. Imagine if today they came out with a phone and they said, listen, instead of texting, you could actually speak to the person right through
No. You're ruining things.
Anyway, so what happened was I went over to the party to be at the party. And Beth was like, maybe you shouldn't go to the party. She knows I'm not any fun.
So she's saying don't go to the party.
Well, yeah. And I said, well, why are you trying
She's like, I'd have a better time without you.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting...
Robin knows.
Oh yes, they all know, especially Beth.
Weird.
Uh-oh.
So I was like, why are you trying to get rid of me? It's not funny. Do you want to date? Fun. Do you want to like? Don't you want me to go? Is there
somebody there you're meeting?
Huh? Yeah. She goes, well, I just know you get really annoyed at these things, and I don't want to have a bad time, and I'm gonna have to leave. I go, listen.
What? This is nothing we haven't covered before.
No, this is like 101. Howard and Beth 101.
Well, you and Raven covered I sat alone by myself, and I love that episode because it's one of my favorite pieces of audio. And so, like, okay, that's him at a gathering. He's no fun. Like people. That was a situation where people knew they didn't want to be goofed on. Hence don't go near him, and that won't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But then finding that you're screwed anyway because he's gonna be bitch and moan that you didn't come to see him.
Mm-hmm. And he'd bitch and moan if you did come to see him. So the
only solution in that particular situation that you guys covered was don't go to the party.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then be asked, why weren't you there?
Right.
So is there a way to win?
No, with him, absolutely not. You'll never win. You'll never win. Like that. That literally was a no-win situation.
I would own it. I would actually sit down right next to him and listen to him bitch about it, and whatever. If I heard one complaint, I'd say, "Go fuck yourself. No one wants to sit with you. You're a miserable piece of shit, and you know it, and we all know it too. Bye." Fuck.
Now that would be awesome.
On the air specifically, yeah.
I said, I'll make you a deal.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying. I know.
Okay. I don't even want to see you at this party. I said,
you go your way and I'll go.
Yeah, I said, you know what? I'm going to be just fine at the party. I don't need to be hanging around with you. You watch me in action, kind of implying like, you know what? I'm going to go pick up chicks. You want to? You fuck with me? I'll fuck with you. Okay?
Oh my God! You know what?
Yeah.
You'd have a good shot at winning that, but I think she might take over.
Oh yeah, she'd win in a second.
Finding a sex partner at the party.
And then he took it to the next level, which is even funnier.
No kidding. But I mean, in a situation like that, I don't know the Hamptons, whatever. It's just rich. It's basically money. Mm-hmm. Money talks. Bullshit propagates. But like if you're someone who's marginally attractive, like Beth, or someone who's massively rich, like Howard, wouldn't the rich person stand to reason that the rich person is going to have some hanger on come after them immediately? Or do you think in this case looks will trump the money in that situation?
I think when you're surrounded by other rich people, nobody's sticking out. You know what I mean? Like you can't use that as leverage to beat out other men. So yeah, I think Beth would absolutely clean up before he would.
Okay.
Oh my God. Yeah. In that scenario. Now maybe somewhere else in the more kind of real world type situation. Yeah. He might win.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I didn't consider that. Yeah, because you're right. All that wealth is like water being poured into a glass that's already full. Mm-hmm, right. If this guy has 60 billion and this guy has 10 billion, it doesn't matter. It's still way more money that you'll ever get in your life.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Like think about the Victoria's Secret. I don't know. So Victoria's Secret party with all the models there. Yeah. Well, who's the hot one there? Well, they're all the same. They're all hot.
Well, yeah, and then it just becomes about your preference if they decide to, breathe the same air with, the peons.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Me, I'll be standing there,
Yeah, she'll be taking apps while you're standing.
So anyway, I was excited to go to the party, and there were many famous people there, like John Bon Jovi and Brad Gray. Brad Gray came up to talk to me, and I couldn't remember, like, is he still working for Paramount or?
He's the president of Paramount.
Oh, he is, right?
I think currently he is.
I couldn't remember because I didn't want to say to him, man, fuck those guys. And I didn't know where he stood politically with the whole thing. I just go, hey.
So fucking. So this to me is proof that when he goes to these places, he's put his foot in his mouth every single time, multiple times.
I bet he has. And isn't Brad Gray supposed to be like a friend? He got invited to his wedding.
Yes.
I mean,
Brad Gray and Bernie Brillstein became Brillstein Gray. They merged companies and they became one of the biggest talent agencies in the business. And they produced, the Gary Shandling stuff. They produced Seinfeld. They produced Sopranos, or got them greenlit, basically. So, and they managed all kinds of people, like Norm Macdonald, a lot of comedians, the SNL cast, that kind of shit.
Yeah, and I feel like this is the type of job you'd know where your quote friend or even acquaintance would work. It's not like the real world where I
No.
work at XYZ Corporation. No, I don't expect anybody I know to know where I work. It's different. But if
Right.
I was working at Paramount, what'd I say? Paramount?
Paramount. That's fine.
I don't know what that is.
You made it sound ritzier.
Paramount. Okay,
para.
side tangent. My uncle, or not my uncle, but my ex's uncle, he's really Southern and he thinks he's fancy. Well, he's kind of fancy, but he would say instead of Cadillac Escalade, he would go Escalade. Cadillac Escalade.
I think in that case it sounds classier.
It kind of did. So, of course, obviously now that's what I say in my head. Like I don't say it, in the real world. But anyways, I forgot. I went on a tangent. Sorry.
Well, no. Like if you in that, you're right. In that business, if Howard reads like if he does his homework and this is a pop culture show, you would expect he would read Variety, Entertainment Weekly, all the rags, Us Weekly, anything, People magazine, and hear the gossip and read. And of course, we know him and Beth are as shallow as as a puddle, and so they should know the names, the places, the movies, and you have to, like, as a part of your job. If you're talking about pop culture, what's your homework? All that stuff.
Exactly.
If Robin's a news reader, her homework is not just that stuff, but also actual newspapers.
Exactly. And they should just be up on the current basic stuff. And I wonder also, so two things. So the first thing is why wouldn't they just for their own sheer butt kissing, wouldn't they do a little bit of research of where's everyone at and do all that so they could chat and everything? But then here's what I thought as you were talking. Do you think that maybe he really does know where he works, but he just doesn't want to admit it because he likes to devalue people that way, or he likes to,
Well, what do you think this is also part of? Do you think maybe this is part of the? I want to act like I don't really know who these people are because I'm the regular people. I might be rich, but I'm still blue collar or whatever bullshit. I actually think in this case it is sheer willful ignorance and laziness. Don't do the homework. It's enough that they know me. I don't have to know other people. So that narcissism is really more about also a little bit, a slight bit of beyond laziness. It's also subconsciously, it's not important for me to know who these people are.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Okay, let them be rich, but I'm here. I belong here. That's enough for me.
Yep, that's good. That's a good point.
That's just the way I see it. Now, mind you, and a producer, you might not know what they look like, but if you heard their name, you should instantly go, head of CEO of blah blah blah, or they're at New Line, or they're at fucking MGM or whatever the fuck. Yeah. So I mean, if he knows, he his gay crush is Brad Pitt and Orlando Bloom. He can pick them out of. You remember those those eye charts, right?
Yeah.
Instead of letters and numbers, it's pictures. Small pictures of Orlando Bloom and where it says printed in China or whatever, and he'll be able to find that instantly.
Oh yeah.
As bad as his eyesight is. So anyway, we'll keep going.
Hey, man, what's happening? I couldn't remember. I don't remember showbiz stuff. I'm not good with it.
I can't remember who Brad Gray is.
Brad Gray's the head of Paramount Pictures.
Well, Brosteen Gray was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he's a good guy. I mean, I've hung with the guy. I've spoken to the guy. I like the guy. I'm a supporter of it.
I've hung with the guy. I don't remember where he works.
I know the guy. I like the guy.
Oh, fucking hell.
I just couldn't remember where he was working. I couldn't remember shit.
When you see a show business person, you try to, if at a party, you go, well, what's the best piece of small talk to bring up to them right now in their life?
Yeah.
Well, with him, it would have been Bernie dying.
If you meet anybody else, you're not supposed to know what they do for a living. And
Artie would have been perfect.
Yep.
Artie could schmooze. I mean, he doesn't have the money to schmooze in the Hamptons, he didn't even then, as much money as he had, he wasn't a Hamptons guy and he wouldn't have fit in. But talking in the business, he could easily go to a Hollywood party and talk about people's movies, music endeavors, whatever, people they've worked with in the past, directors and stuff, easily, and do it for hours effortlessly.
Absolutely. Kind of like, have you seen The Devil Wears Prada? Where,
certainly.
And she was whispering into, I can't think of her name, whispering into her ear. Yeah. She's whispering into, Meryl Streep's ear at the party, like, this is so and so. They do this. They've got a kid in whatever boarding school, whatever.
Yeah.
And also I'm thinking about Artie. No, he wouldn't fit in, but don't you think he'd be a hit at a Hamptons party?
Instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Instantly. It would be like if Chris Farley did cartwheels onto the lawn or something, you know what I mean? And I mean, there's yeah, Chris Farley's the closest approximation, and not because they're two big guys or whatever, but because there's a likability factor.
Mm-hmm.
And unless he's talking to some shishi, like some rich hanger-on, whatever, as opposed to someone who's in the business. Like if John Bon Jovi was there, he's from Jersey, right? Him and Artie would talk Jersey.
Yeah,
right?
They sure would. That would be actually a fun conversation, I think.
And Artie's now probably a better singer than Bon Jovi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Sorry, John. Age happens to everybody.
Yeah.
And all that other crap.
Like Bernie Brillstein time would have been a great thing to bring up, but I couldn't even remember that he was with Brillstein Gray. I couldn't remember anything. I remember, wasn't Gary Shandling suing him or something?
Yeah, he doubled
Brad Gray?
Supposedly Brad Gray was taking a producer's fee and charging commission.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, the Gary Shandling suit, because Gary Shandling, by all accounts, was a real piece of shit. No matter what people think about it. That's sad because I love the shows. Yeah,
I do too.
When in the Comedy Store, when there was a writer's strike, Mitzi Shore's Comedy Store, right? Like there was a writer's strike in the mid '70s, and because they weren't getting paid, she refused to pay them even like $5 for gas fare or like bus fare to get there, and they would do these free things, and she'd make money like like hundreds of thousands a week from the comics, people coming to see the comics. Wow. But when the comedians went on strike for getting money at the door, he broke the picket line. He crossed the picket line. He and a few other people, like who had the guy that was Argus Hamilton was dating Mitzi at the time. Like go figure. He's going to stand by his woman, right? The whole Tammy Wynette thing, gender reversal. But then years later, when he was doing one of his shows, I think the latter one, he didn't want the producers like chairs, like he didn't want them on the set. He decided, no, this is about me and this is my show, and I don't want producers anywhere near the set.
Really?
And so he was playing like some diva shit.
Wow.
When he would go meet them for dinner, he'd never offer them, hey, you want something? He'd never go like, hey, would you like a glass of wine or a cup of coffee? Nothing. He literally he would just eat his stuff in front of people and not.
What?
Yes. And then when he sued Brad Gray for the reasons Artie's talking about for $100 million. $100 million.
Crap.
Not a number you can settle very quietly, right?
Unless you're a Dr. Evil and Austin Powers.
Right. And Bernie was like saying, no, we didn't need Gary Shandling at the time, but I wonder if Gary remembers that I set him up with his first agent when he came to Hollywood. Wow. So unfortunately, even though he's very revered, and I certainly loved his shows, he was brilliantly funny. I thought he was great, but I can separate that from the person. Yeah.
Wow. That's really, really surprising to me. I had never heard that before. And I loved his first show, probably even more than the second one. I don't know why. I just did. I just loved it. And I still sing that little song in my head. Like every time I hear his name, this is a theme to Gary Show.
maybe because it was just fresher.
Maybe. I don't know. But I did like the other one too. But that one's the one that always sticks out to me.
Yeah, it's anyway. So but that was it was in the trades for a long ass time, and then they settled eventually. But both of those guys were just they hated it because all of a sudden now there was a schism in the relationship whereas they'd been so close before.
Yeah, and you can't come back from that. I wonder how it affected his career, if it did after that.
I don't know if it did, but Bernie said in his book, he just said like Gary was not like any other client. He was needier. He needed his hand held all the time. He was constantly calling. He was never happy. He was just really a miserable person. I mean, you kind of see it in his face.
Yeah.
But either way, that would have been something maybe, first of all, you need to know that if you're at a Hamptons party and you see him. Like, don't talk about this. Maybe it's too sore.
Yeah.
So,
See, you should have had Artie there to whisper
Yeah,
all
I
this
should have,
to you.
because but I remembered something with Gary Shandling. I was going to go, hey, what happened with you and Gary Shandling? I'm not going to bring that up.
That was a long time ago. But
Right.
you know what? You're right in thinking something might have happened with Paramount because he was a big name involved with that Pelicano guy.
Oh,
the Private
okay.
Eye.
Right.
And yeah, he was involved with that.
Again, that's why I need my agent at these things, because my agent's so good. He goes, hey, Brad, and blah, blah,
And
blah.
he gives you a little synopsis.
Yeah.
That's an agent's job.
But
Artie's right.
See, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Brad was there. I said hello to him, and there were a lot of people there. Chevy Chase and his wife, Janie. Chevy says he's going to come on the show. I said, come on the show, because I got a lot of questions about your life.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't do it, Howard. Don't do it.
He never did, right? He never did.
He did. Of course he did. And then he went to their wedding, and then he did that speech. Remember?
Oh, this was after. Oh.
This is before the wedding. This is before the interview. He hasn't come back yet. They haven't made that. They've made up. They've made up. I think Chevy did exactly what Norm suggested. He called in and he did a phoner when he said, "Look, if you get along with Howard, he'll just leave you alone." And that's exactly what he did.
Okay, I thought this was after they got married. Okay.
No, this is
interesting.
Yeah.
I would like, I mean, I was reading Artie's Belushi book that he gave me again, and there's so much with Belushi and Chevy Chase. There's a lot to talk about there.
We played that game. He would be a perfect person for this. Remember when Cuba Gooding came in here and you pointed to me and said you were in a scene with this guy? Can you remember? And it took him a little while to remember because I did a full 18 hours of a full day with him on a movie.
Right.
Well, Chevy Chase is in Dirty Work, and I was probably with him a full week. And a couple of nights we went out, we had dinner and everything.
You don't think he remembers you?
I bet he wouldn't remember me.
Well, it's a real
and he didn't actually. But once he was told, like once he was told, then it came back to him, and then he remembered conversations he had with Artie. So
well, I could see that. I mean, if you're in one of those positions where you're dealing with a lot of people all the time, I mean, everybody kind of just starts to blend together. It's hard to remember everybody.
Yes,
but at
especially,
least, yeah.
Especially when you don't follow it up with another correspondence with that person. I think you get two conversations. That's it. You should remember that person. If you see them two separate occasions, separate conversations, and if it's memorable enough, I mean, if they are memorable, that's the other thing. There's a guy I know. I love the guy. His name's Jeff, but he goes by something else. And for the longest time, even though I knew him for years, I'd said to my wife, I go, I cannot remember his fucking name. Can you please help me with this? Why can't I remember it? She goes, well, because he goes by one, and this is his name. But I can't remember either of them. And he's a really nice guy. It just happened to be one of those things, and I got a mental block. So even now, when I see him as a joke, I call him both names immediately, like, "Hey, Jack Joe," you know. So anyway, he gets it.
Turn around with us. I mean, you remember how many years Chevy and I were feuding?
Oh yeah.
And I saw him at the party. He was like my best friend there. Like we had the most fun together. And I was like, nice. I went home feeling like, geez, I really like this guy. He's interesting. He's funny.
Well, he started it.
He did. And I was like...
You always liked him.
I always liked Chevy Chase. I love that fucking movie, the National Lampoon Vacation. And I like the...
Fletch, the first Fletch.
Three Amigos.
Even the golf one, where he's the golf...
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack.
You're shaking your head here.
He's just, okay, first of all, he's full of shit, and they're doing that kiss-ass thing that they do because they want him to come on. That's what they're doing.
Oh, yes.
And then Robin has to do her little take-up for Howard bit in the background. It's all just so gross. But then okay, the Three Amigos, shut the fuck up. Was he even in that?
Yeah, it was, of course. Steve Martin was
that?
Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Chevy Chase.
Was it? Yeah, that's right. Okay. But everybody trashes that movie. Like, it's a well-known piece of shit movie. I've never seen it. I only know about it because I've always heard how bad it was. I don't know. It might be good. I don't know.
They call it, some people consider it a cult classic. I
could see that. I could see that.
Like, Roadhouse is a cult classic, but that's gloriously bad. I mean,
that's different.
It's so good bad that the new one, I haven't, like Derek from Radio Karate, he said the remake is better than the original, and I go, that I don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
First of all, false, because that can't happen.
The original one had Ben Gazzara, Kelly Lynch, Patrick Swayze,
say no more.
Fucking Sam Elliott. It had John Doe from the band X. Jeff Healey, the Jeff Healey band playing on the soundtrack.
Yeah, I hate
It
that
had
guy.
my God, some of the lines in that fucking movie. I mean,
Yeah,
it had
okay.
Terry Funk was in the movie.
Say no more.
Right. It was brilliant.
It was brilliant, and I would watch it now. It's ridiculous. It's over the top. I love it. It's cheesy. I love it. It's perfect.
It even has a cameo from that big black guy from Weird Science when they go to the club and they get all fucked up and Anthony Michael Hall starts going, he goes, she need me in the nuts, and he goes, in the family jewels. That voice is it's unmistakable. I don't remember his name, God bless him, but it's got so many brilliant moments. And then and so like Jake Gyllenhaal's got This Is the Mountain He's Got to Climb. There's just no way. He's been good in some films. He's not my favorite, but that was one I would have said no. The money won't be enough.
No, and I'm sure also they took a different spin on it and tried to make it serious. And so it's a different movie. So yeah, maybe it's really good and better but in a different way. It's never going to be better than the original. Sorry. Sorry, Derek.
Shakespeare. Derek, the gauntlet has been thrown down.
Suck it, Derek.
I mean, the guy's in classic comedies, and he also, by every account, he created SNL with Lorne Michaels,
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I'm at this party, right? So now Beth has kind of said to me, I'm going to ruin her good time. So I was like, well, fuck this. I'm going to walk off on my own. So I'm walking around, and I see ping pong tables set up outdoors at Billy Joel's house, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Ping pong tables, but I'm looking for the paddles. There's no goddamn paddle. And there's friggin' cups all over the table. And I'm saying to myself, how are you supposed to play ping pong if there's cups all over this table?
You didn't get it.
No, I never heard of beer pong. Listen, man, I don't know.
You don't go to parties.
I don't go to parties. I don't know anything about it.
You don't play.
Is there a game more unhygienic than fucking beer pong?
Well, no, maybe. I don't know. I think the funnel, passing around the funnel, the beer funnel's pretty nasty because everybody's got their mouth on it.
No kidding. Like, I'd have to boil that funnel. There's no way.
But see, here's the thing. Here's my my take on it. First of all, alcohol kills all the germs. And secondly, if you are blasted shit-faced out of your mind, you don't care. And so if you don't care, it's fine.
I suppose, but I'm thinking, like, am I drinking athlete's foot or something?
Possibly.
Well, no, like, is there enough alcohol in light beer or whatever because I assume in the States that's what's being used, like 4% alcohol. Like, is it enough to kill the germs, really?
Look, I'm not saying it's science. I'm just saying that's what you tell yourself. Okay.
I see. Okay. Gotcha. It's like in Greek communion, Greek Orthodox communion is not a wafer, and it's actually like wine mixed with broken bits of bread, and it's a communal spoon. Everybody lines up and they go get their fix. And it's meant to be the blood of Christ and the body of Christ, right? And I told my mother, like, I was scared shitless. I go, but everybody's using the same spoon. As a 7-year-old, I was very, like, germ-phobic like that way. And she goes, don't worry. God cleans it every time.
That's so funny.
then when I got up there was this old man he was like, I was last because I was so fearful. This old man was there before me, and he started like spitting up in front of me.
That's not funny. That's not funny.
The look on my face, my brother had to leave the church. He was laughing so hard. I never took communion again after that. I was just like, I'll bring my own fucking spoon. That's awful. Anyway, guys, sorry for the digression. I thought you might like that.
Got the pace played incessantly.
Oh my God! So I see cups of beer, and I can't stand beer. I'm not a big beer guy,
right?
Except for Beck's, I love that. But
Beck's is great.
But I didn't have that there. So I looked through all the cups and everything, and there's dirty beer in there with like balls in it, and I went,
"You'd love balls."
That's why I played.
Yeah, you dive right in. What are you talking about? You'd say Jesus is loving me.
These people I was upset. Disgusting. They're throwing balls in perfectly good beer.
Where's the cleaning woman?
Yeah. And so then someone comes over and says, no, this is beer pong. I see they're trying to throw the ball in the cup.
Right.
So I'm saying to myself, this is stupid because you're ruining perfectly good beer. I mean, that filthy ball where everyone's touching gets in the cup and then you drink the beer?
Yeah.
It's
gross. I have
supposedly
OCD.
the alcohol kills everything.
I don't know.
I hated drinking games because...
You don't need a game.
Well, yeah.
But
quarters.
it's fun just to drink.
Quarters. Wait a minute. If I make this in, you get to drink?
What's the fun of that?
I agree with him. I never took part in drinking games, not because I wanted control, but because I was drinking plenty without it.
Yeah, I know. I thought they were fun. I did a lot.
Like there's one Caps. Do you remember Caps?
Yes, I do remember Caps.
Like you try to use it.
How did we do it?
You've taken the cap off the beer bottle, then you set it back on the top, and you're supposed to knock it off from across the room, something like that. That was way harder too. That wasn't beer pong. This was like fucking ninja pong or something.
I forgot about that one.
And to do it without knocking the beer bottle over, so you got to use another. You got to use another cap, or you've got to use like something really light to try to get at it.
That's funny. I forgot about that one. Yeah, I played that one. I played quarters. There's some card game that I can't remember. And then beer pong. And that's all I can remember. I think that's it.
Was quarters to like get as close to the wall without like closer to the other person by flicking it.
Something like that.
Flicking it to the wall.
I don't really remember. I'm going to have to like Google it. I mean, I know I played it. I just haven't.
It's been so long.
It. Yeah. Yeah. I just remember there was one game we were sitting around the table. You did it at the table. You weren't standing up.
Okay.
Was that quarters?
I don't recall. It was caps for us, and beer pong was way later. That wasn't even a concept back then.
Actually, the only reason I know that is because my brother did that one. That's how I found out about beer pong. It was like after my time.
Yes, totally after my time. Yeah.
Unless I should drink.
Right.
So I play with a friend of mine, Cynthia. Do you remember me, Cynthia? No, you never met Cynthia. So Cynthia's there.
Yeah.
And I said, Cynthia, come over here. I'm going to play this game with you. But I'm not drinking beer. We'll put down some shots. So when I got to the party, because Beth had already thrown down the gauntlet that I was going to be on my own, I took some liquid courage. I took a full glass of vodka on ice.
Right.
And I drank that fairly rapidly.
We're gonna play a game called Kettle One Pong.
Yeah. So then I got these tequila shots.
Wait a minute. Now you're doing tequila shots?
I lined up 10 Mr. Life of the party.
That's retarded. Mixing booze is the worst.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, God, I did it. I stopped it when I was really early. I learned that one. Just do not mix booze. It's a bad mistake.
Oh, yeah, it is. I had one of the worst nights ever with tequila. And every time I think about, every time I imagine that smell. Yes. Now I can have like a margarita or something like that, but like a shot of tequila, please fuck off. It's not happening. I will gag. Literally sitting here thinking about what it smells like and what it tastes like will make me like feel sick. It's so gross.
I hated shots in general anyway, and when I did ever have to do one, it would be a shot of whiskey or something. But no, I didn't need fancying up. I just wanted it in a glass.
I did the fancies.
Yeah, no, I didn't want, what do you call them, like the orgasm or all that bullshit. Like,
there's the buttery nipple and
right, the burnt pancake or whatever. I don't fucking know what they're called.
Well, I did used to drink one called the oatmeal cookie. It had Jägermeister in it. It was really good, and lemon drop, just little girly shots.
Well, that's it. And then, but ultimately, to me. I mean, if the purpose of drinking is get fucked up, obviously, the faster the better, the stronger the better. But I actually enjoyed drinking, like just drinking whiskey. So I wouldn't ever think to shoot it unless I was really in like a mood to get fucked up. But generally, I like it. I think that's for people who really hate the taste of booze or hard booze.
Yeah.
Those gussied up drinks. Like why else does a Manhattan exist?
Well, because we want to get drunk, but we don't want to taste whiskey. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, party, don't you?
I line up 10 tequila shots.
Right.
And I go, okay, every time you get one in the cup, I drink one, and if I get it in your cup, you drink one. Yeah.
So you're going to mix vodka
and tequila.
So I'm throwing this fucking ball. I'm not that good at it.
Thank God you'd have died.
Turns out she's like a beer pong champion. And I'm down in these tequila shots. Then the next thing I know, Ross Zapin was there. And
oh, God, your favorite.
Oh, Ross, yeah. Oh, God. Did he smash something in the night?
Did he put a straw in the tequila bottle?
Just yeah, he's walking around with a straw in the bottle. He's like headbutts a window. Like that's
yeah,
what
don't
I
you have
imagine.
this image of him like doing a swan dive through a plate glass window?
Yes.
God, he was such a prick.
And this guy, Mike, who we're friends with, and he's playing me, and he's playing, I'm on Cynthia's team now. And then...
Cynthia
How
Hahn.
many shots of tequila have you had now?
Now I'm up to like 5. Oh. So I go, and the glass of vodka, and I go, I said, listen, I can't keep up at this pace. I said, I'm already drunk.
You're going to be an Amy Winehouse
I'm killing brain cells. So I didn't know. I mean, this beer pong is so fun because it gave me something to do while Beth was.
I figured this is.
Honestly, why doesn't he have a coloring book and some crayons, if he needs something to do, Grandpa? So that's his solution at that point. Now, mind you, he's the kind of physique that it wouldn't take much to get him fucked up.
No. And he starves himself, and he probably really was back then. So like he's running on fumes anyway. And then he starts putting the alcohol in his system. He probably was tipsy after the first one.
One of the things in Asia that I found odd when I first came over was that food is very much a part of the drinking experience while you're drinking. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking like a glass of wine with your dinner. I'm talking hard stuff. Now, are you along the same lines as me? When we were growing up, you ate before you drank, if you ate at all, or you ate after you were done because the bars were closed and you got ravenously hungry. But you never ate during.
No, you don't eat during.
Right.
You save all of your stomach for the alcohol. I mean,
and if you're lucky,
that's
you
what
throw
you
up
did.
Before the food.
Yes.
So
and
that
you can put more in.
It is a science, guys. Because I'm thinking how many fucking orders of poutine went wasted, because we didn't think hard enough about, stopping before the end and realizing you're going to eat something. But my God. Yeah, so
what you thought, I'm going to be the life of this party.
Yeah,
now that I've been told I'm no fun.
And then I'm like, it's going to be a matter of time before Beth comes over because
I'm having so much fun
and she's not. Meanwhile, I look over at her. She's dancing, she's talking, she's having a great time. Couldn't care less that I'm playing.
So for her, that's a night off.
It is a night off. Like her baby, her toddler is occupied over there with the toys and the other kids. And she can actually enjoy a moment and not have to worry about his fucking ass. Good for her. Good for her.
You haven't been on the breakdowns for a while now, but you will get back into it at some point because we have more clips than we know what to do with. Unfortunately, no, I think fortunately, because Raven does a wicked job, but it's just the way we record them now. It's tough to get through every single one. How bad do you think it was for her in Italy with him?
Oh God, it had to be terrible because it doesn't matter because I did hear on the last one her preparations for Italy, and I believe 100% that she had a list of things to do. Like she probably had a gang of people all around to put together this trip to keep him on schedule, occupied. Like let's think of every scenario possible and get ahead of it. And it wouldn't matter. He's gonna find something to bitch about because that's just what they do. And God forbid he sees her having a good time, he will ruin it because he can't have it.
Yeah. And Raven and I if you heard it, we conjecture that she must be taking something like she eat like edibles. She suggested the edibles actually, and she might I think it's the latest episode anyway. I think that's the latest episode where she talks about it. But that we've done at least 2 or 3 episodes now where he's talking about the trip, like talking up the trip. But do you think there's a percentage of it that's like exaggerated for the air, or do you think it's worse than what he said on the air? Much worse.
I think it's worse.
Yeah, me too.
Because in his self-deprecating, speak or whatever, right? He's still not going to give the full story. It's way worse, I think.
And he's not going to bring up his culpability He's just going to say, this was shitty, not, I was an ass about this.
And if he does, it's going to be joking, but it's still going to be somebody else's fault. It's never going to be him, ever, ever.
100%.
Honey, I'm winning beer pong, no?
Doesn't even get jealous that I'm having all this fun.
She doesn't even know what you're doing.
She's doing the hustle with John Bon Jovi on the dance floor.
Well, no, she was dancing, but I checked. She was dancing with gay people.
Oh, shut up.
Well, that's safe. That's like being with my husband.
The appropriate people and other girls.
Oh, okay, good.
You know, because I went over at one point to like dance, and I realized I don't want to dance.
How did you stand doing all this?
And like she ends up dancing, and I end up standing, watching her dance.
Right.
I don't want to do that. I just suck at parties. I really did. She was right. I should have just gotten home.
You know how you are.
Yeah.
When you get a little lit, though, you're a happy drunk guy.
Yeah, everyone said I was fun. Everyone said
I
I
have
was
fun with you when you're drunk.
I'm sure everyone said you were fun.
Nobody said he was fun. Nobody. They probably were making. This is what's so terrible about it. If he in his own mind, like say he really thought at one point he was having a good time. Like he wasn't the whole time. Maybe he was with Cynthia for a time or two.
Yeah.
People were probably like looking at him like, ugh. He's just so off-putting. Do you think people really like him ever?
Well, the Kimmel thing has fascinated me for the longest time. Like why you wouldn't kick him to the curb after already having gone on vacation with him just to Mexico. It's not a big thing, right? It's not like a, much of a time difference if you're from the West Coast. And then having, it's a short flight and private everything and the best of all, best of money can buy, but still having this wet blanket on your trip. Fucking things up, acting like you're your 16th child that you didn't know you had that showed up one day. Why stick with him? Why put up with his nonsense? Because this is the question I was going to ask you with regards to his drinking. Do you think he becomes loose lips Howie when he drinks? Like a lot of people do, some don't. Some their personality just changes in a different way, but they're still very reticent to speak about things.
I could see him being a little more maybe friendly at first and a little more talkative. Maybe probably more so than he normally would be. But I think he would still be more loose-lipped on the air. Okay. So
I don't know. So the booze would have nothing to do with him being just like if he got angry, yes, he's going to blurt shit out. We know that about him. But if he's drinking and good mood or bad mood, you don't think that really changes his control of what he says in front of people, like privately?
Oh, okay. So I misunderstood. I was thinking like telling stories and talking about other people. So you mean just like in general, is he going to be a little more fun, a little more open? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Until he hits that point where you start getting like it kind of starts wearing off a little bit, and then you start getting sleepy, and then he goes like worse than he normally is.
Okay, fair enough. Interesting.
I'm more fun drunk than you are, even it turns out, which is weird.
Yeah.
Artie gets like depressed.
I'm a dark drinker.
Right. Yeah. He likes to drink and is not a good drunk.
Right.
You're not even that much of a drunk or a drinker, and you're a great drunk.
I find that drinking will amplify whatever mood I'm in.
Yeah.
And I'm mostly in a bad mood.
That's funny.
Oh God. Well, honestly, we've seen how vicious he could be on heroin going after Gary. Ooh. When that was one of it was cringy, but it was funny. It was at some parts funny, but it was very vicious. And seeing Artie doing that with Gary, makes you realize he could do it with just about anybody, and it would be harder, maybe just as vicious.
I think he would be scary. Honestly, I think he could be scary. I don't think he's violent outward though.
Well,
but I think
tell Teddy that.
Well, true. That's true
tell
too.
Sal.
That's true. I forgot about that. But I could definitely see him being so mean verbally that you would cry.
And unsolicited mean. I think so too. I mean, we did see the Queer Eye with the Straight Guy. The video that he was with them, and I think that was more about anxiety than anything else.
Yeah, I think so too. I do too.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
So then I get drunk at a point, so I'm playing beer pong, and then, there were a lot of good-looking girls there, and I said to Ross, let me tell you, now I'm drunk.
All right, now you're challenging.
If I was single here, I'd fuck that one, then I'm bragging, I'm
Here
like,
comes this guy.
Okay. All right. Okay. Did you ask them what they thought? Would they have said yes? Like that?
I can't remember what episode it was we cut, but you said something like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so dismissive. Yeah, okay, Junior. Yeah. Okay, buddy.
Yeah. And he goes, that's right. He goes, I'm married, but I can
he
look.
could get some too.
Yeah, we're both bragging about all the girls we're getting. So then I turn over and I go, hey, look at that blonde over there. You know who she looks like? She looks like Ivanka Trump. She's good looking. He goes, I think that is Ivanka Trump. I go, get the fuck out of here.
Is Ivanka the daughter?
The daughter.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm thinking,
You're thinking Ivana.
Oh, this brought the story up to a whole new level.
Ivanka.
Oh, the K. I missed the K.
Yeah.
Very few people who are named Ivana name their kid Ivanka. There's too much confusion.
Yeah, what is that shit?
I for the longest time I couldn't remember either. So I would be guilty of that.
Yeah, I remembered it. I just always thought it was dumb.
What, to
why
have a
would you
name that's
do
too
that?
similar to yours?
Yeah, you have a kid called Filkmore. Why
Yeah,
would
really.
you do that? It's
Fillmore Jr.
ridiculous.
I've never liked the junior shit
No, I don't
because to
either.
me it smacks of like new money or something. You're trying to be. It depends. I mean, in Greek Orthodox culture, you're supposed to name the first male child after your dad, but as a result, we had like 16 Georges in the family. There's so many. It eventually gets the cousins all but she, and that was, hold on, let me see if I got this. Marla Maples, and then Ivana, and then Melania. I think I got the wives in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were just the three, right?
So Ivana, but then whose kids were Marla Maples? Did he have kids with Marla Maples? I had to imagine.
Wait.
He did,
Yeah,
didn't
he did. He had a daughter. He had Tiffany with
Tiffany,
Marla.
that's the one. That's the one.
Yep.
It's like Kardashians. I can't keep up.
I know,
this
God.
scorecard.
So is Ron? It's Ron. Ronald? Is that Don? Wait, who's his son? Who's Donald's son?
Wait a minute. Well, there's Baron.
That's it. That's
the youngest. That's the youngest one. Yeah, with
Yeah.
Melania. There's Donald.
Donald Jr. Right?
Junior. Yeah, there is a junior. So
who's is that? Ivana's son?
I believe so, because he's certainly. We'll have to look it up now.
Yeah, let's look it up.
Oh.
I don't know. I can't remember.
That's the family tree looks like what do you call it? A pussy willow. Hold on. Donald Trump children. And it usually Google does its job. It's a wonderful job at picking the worst photos to Baron Yvonne. Okay, show more. There we go. Eric, Tiffany, Eric. Eric's the one I forgot. Eric Trump.
I forgot about him.
But hold on. Oh, here it goes. Don Jr., Ivanka, and Eric Trump with Ivana Trump, Tiffany Trump with Marla Maples, and Baron Trump with Melania Trump. So he only had the one with Melania. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I thought that was
so
right,
much
yeah.
younger. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Good. I thought he had more. For some reason, I thought he had like a couple more that, like Ozzy had the ones on the show, but then there was that Amy, the oldest one that didn't want to have anything to do with it.
But then there was another one. There's a son that came before Amy.
Really?
That is like, yep. Sure is.
Wow. I did not know this.
I forget his name, but yeah.
How are you up on this Ozzy trivia?
I know stuff.
This is where you're supposed to pull out all your Black Sabbath vinyl and show it like this. I know
Stand up, and I have on a T-shirt.
Yeah, colored vinyl.
So I go over there. Big kiss hello. I go, what are you playing? Your beer pong? She goes, yeah, my boyfriend's over there playing. I go, let me teach this fucking guy how to play beer pong. Now I'm an expert. I say, here, you're on my team, blah, 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 blah. And what people like to do with me, because they can't believe they're playing beer pong with me for some reason, they just can't believe it. They all gang up on me. And it ends up this
and you're drinking all the booze.
They try to get it in my side of the cups.
Right.
And I'm now drinking this beer. Now I'm drinking tequila.
God,
I mean,
must have been so sick.
I was the room was spinning.
Oh man. Oh, I've done that too. Like going from whiskey or rum or rye and then going to beer. And almost instantly it happens.
Oh my
the
God.
worm turns. This is giving me bad flashbacks.
Me too. Oh my God. Oh
So
my God.
these days, if you have to drink anything, what's your poison of choice?
You mean like, all right, so I'll
Wine?
drink wine and stuff. Yeah, that's probably my go-to.
Yeah.
I like wine. And but if I have like a drink, I'll do a margarita or I'll do what is that one called? I'm so bad with the names. It's
Cosmo? Caesar?
no. Mojito.
Mojito.
That's the one. I like those. But probably margarita is my go-to, but I don't like the frozen ones. I do sometimes, but I like the ones that's just like on the rocks.
Fair enough.
That's usually what I have.
Did you ever? To me, it's the most like god awful invention known to man, and I'm embarrassed to be from the province that's kind of famous for it. Ice wine. Have you ever had it?
No, what is that?
Ice wine is it's a sickly sweet dessert wine. I think it's probably used more for cooking and stuff, but it's famous in Ontario, the state of the province of Ontario, and it's a Canadian. I think it is a Canadian, specifically a Canadian like invention, and I tried it once and I was disgusted. I mean, I would have rather had rosé in a fucking
I like rosé.
glass.
I do like rosé.
Of course.
Of course I do. Of course. So is it like a Riesling?
How do I describe it? I can't even describe it. It was so long ago I almost spit it out. That's how disgusted I was with it.
Wow, that's so funny. All right, I'm gonna have to look that up. I just want to know what
ice
it is.
Wine. They usually come in very narrow, long bottles. I mean, not like there's no big bulge, whatever. They look almost like a vodka bottle or something.
What funny ice wine Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like tall, skinny.
Yeah.
Tall. Oh wow, this one's $120. So maybe you and Robin can have some together.
Maybe I'll order it for her and she doesn't know what the fucking cost is. Yeah, exactly. I love that.
Enniskillen Gold. Vidal. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's interesting. I never heard of that.
Yeah, I don't even, and that would be something that I'm sure in the States would be an import and might be even more expensive. I have no idea, unless California, I mean, maybe California makes their own, they've got such a famous history with wines. Maybe they've got their own as well. And I don't know, does it depend on if it's climate based, then they could still come up with some hydroponic ice wine or some shit.
That's what I'm wondering, like Prosecco versus champagne.
Right.
Is it that kind of situation? So I wonder if there's another ice wine, but they just call it something different.
Maybe. I'll have to look it up. Guys, QFers, you let us know your feelings. How do you feel? Anyway, let's keep going, guys.
I know what the fuck was going on.
I can't even imagine.
But I
when
wanted
you
to
got
play.
to dinner, I've seen you get lit on one thing, a glass of champagne.
Well, that's what I'm saying. 5 tequilas. I don't know how he's walking.
I had more than 5. That was 5 at the first beer pong game.
Jeez.
Yeah. Because I didn't want to drink beer, I started with, and that tequila is powerful.
It's powerful, and you can go crazy on tequila.
It's a narcotic.
So finally, Beth does come over to me, and
thank God.
I go, let's leave already. It's like 10:30 now.
Wild man. 10:30. What a lightweight.
10:30. Oh my God.
Yeah.
10:30.
How long were you there?
We got there around 8:30, so I lasted 2 hours.
That's good for you.
Oh my God, dork.
She had a 2-hour reprieve from him, but that's all she could get. And that probably to him is like 2 a.m.
I'm just sitting here thinking, though, a party like that doesn't even probably get started until 10:30, 11 o'clock. So he's like,
not.
Oh my God. And poor Beth had to leave. Like,
and this is not like it wasn't like it was on a Tuesday and he had to work the next day. You know what I mean? Like I could get behind that.
Could he really not fucking get over it one night and just sleep in the next day? Really?
I really don't get that. And I mean, yes, guys, I know as you get older, you can't really do that. Like he's at the age where he shouldn't be doing any of that. That's the truth. Even then, however many years ago. But if you're going to do it, commit.
I know. Don't go to a party like that for 2 hours. That's so lame.
That is horrible.
Even I would go out. Look, I don't like going out. I'll be honest right now. I don't like going out like that. But if it's like an event or a party or like I'm going to go and meet my friend I never get to see, I'll stay out late with her. But it's like a special occasion. Of course.
That's it.
It's worth it.
Yeah, but not for him. And no, I suppose if you got invited to these all the time and you went consistently, you would, you might curtail it a little bit. But then once you make it till 12, can't you make it till midnight at least before you turn into a pumpkin?
God, poor Beth. I actually feel bad for her. Like,
see,
she's trying.
that was not my goal to make you guys feel sorry for her. But yet we've been doing that with the breakdowns and this kind of shit.
We have. Look what you've done.
See, you went from mom games where you savaged her. Now you're feeling sympathy. What are we?
See how easy I am?
Jesus.
And then we're leaving, and she goes,
I leave a party like that at 10:30.
But listen to this. She goes, I really wanted to stay.
Right.
I go, well, then why didn't you say so? I said, it's time for you to leave now. It's enough, please. So finally we get out of there. I mean, I don't know. She goes, why didn't you go home and I'll stay? I go, why are you getting rid of me? I don't like this. So I don't know. I got very irritated.
First of all, you're describing.
Yeah, you got irritated because she wants to stay. You don't want her to have fun. You don't want people like now that he's gone. That's what he's worried about. What are they going to say about me when I'm not there? What are they saying to her? Who's she with? I can't trust her not to suck some other fucking stray dick. That might happen to fall in her mouth accidentally.
Yeah, and he literally does not want her to have a good time. If he's not there to monitor the situation. But really, I think if they stayed all night, he's still going to be watching to make sure she doesn't get past the good time, whatever number, whatever I'm trying to say. But yeah, God.
It's trust. It's a lack of trust as well. Let's be honest.
Of course.
He can't trust and let's be honest. Does anybody rationally, and I'm calling all of you QFers as well on Patreon, do any of you believe for a second that, and also on the YouTube channel in case this goes there, do any of you for a second believe that if she's unfettered at a Hamptons party, she's going to make it an early night willingly? Like if he says you can do it, she's going to say, no, I'll go back to you. If she's got a free pass, she's staying up, she's doing bumps, she's going to be doing all kinds of drinking and
of
probably,
course.
yeah.
Of course she is. And how old was she then? Like 34? I mean, she wasn't
you're getting
that old.
This was 2008, so 16 years ago. Yeah, she's still in her mid 30s.
Yeah, so she's like, of course she still wants to have a good time and hang out and dance and drink and laugh and just be normal. Like she just wants to be normal and he can't have it.
No, instead of taking grandpa back to the home.
I know.
Fucking hell.
Ladies.
Yeah.
An unbelievably unique experience. That party was probably amazing. A lot of good people watching, celebrity people watching, which is fun.
Your girl was there, Rachel Ray.
Was she really?
Yeah, I met her.
Really?
I mean, I've met her before, but I saw her.
Fella she owes me $500 for Dana's hairdo, that thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember this. I don't get
that?
I don't recall I don't recall the reference. Did she do Dana's hair?
Or like, yeah, what? I can't even imagine.
This doesn't ring. I've heard this clip before and I don't recall this part.
Maybe did she refer Dana to a hairstylist?
Maybe,
and then they get there and didn't realize it was like she whatever. No, like it was like expensive. Like crazy expensive.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
But
I don't know.
Isn't Rachel Ray also famous for basically cooking as well?
Yeah, she was like one of the big time Food Network stars.
That's what I recall.
And she has like food line. She was famous for having a garbage bowl on her set. Like when she was chopping, she'd put the peels in this bowl. She sold the garbage bowl. I had one. Right. Like she's got dishes, she's got dog food. Like she has a little empire, a little Martha Stewart empire. Yeah.
Very Oprah style as well. Like she can sell, so you mean like what do you got, a compost bowl kind of thing? Compost bucket?
Yeah. Yeah. So like she called it a garbage bowl. So like when you're just say you're chopping an onion and you peel it, instead of having to walk it over to the trash can, like you have this little designated bowl on your counter and you put like the peels and everything in there as you're cooking. It actually was kind of clever, really.
Doesn't everybody have a spare bowl in their kitchen?
Yes, but it had to be that color, the same one she used on her show.
Jeez, I'm such a child I'm such a child unaware of the world around me. But I mean, did it say Rachel Ray on it?
Yeah, it really was Rachel Ray. Yeah,
You're kidding.
I can walk over to my cabinet right now and pull it out. I'll take a picture of it after and show it to you.
Please do. Maybe we'll make that the Photoshop. Okay, well, I trust you, but I'm thinking, my God, she's marketing. Like, marketing is part of the business, absolutely. And if she successfully did it, how much was it?
God, it was probably like $25, and it's this just crazy little plastic bowl. That's it. Yep. I paid for it. You better believe it.
My mother would kill me if she saw that. Yeah, how much did you pay? Anyway, no, I get it. But and you have an attachment to this thing. It's never going away.
It's never going away. I've had it for probably 15 years, if not longer.
Well, fuck it. It survived that long. Fuck it. Keep it. It's going to be part of the heirlooms. Okay. Who wants Mom's Rachel Ray?
And they're like, what? Who's that? Yeah. Who's Rachel Ray?
Who are you bequeathing it to?
So I think a lot of the party you're describing, and I don't want to take sides here, sounds like someone would probably like to stay past 10:30.
Yeah, they probably would.
Yeah, they wouldn't be watching looking at their watch.
Hey, Artie, you want to go out with me? You're leaving at 10:30. The party continues at home, watching me sleep. She just gets to hang out with Howard Stern. What's more fun than that?
Everybody else at the party wanted to do
Yeah, everyone. And meanwhile, I found out some gossip.
What?
I'm playing beer pong with Ivanka Trump. And by the way, that girl is good looking.
You know what?
Insanely good looking.
I've turned a corner on her. I never thought she was that hot.
No.
And Trump used to come in here and do that creepy thing. Like, you'd say, who's the hottest girl out there now?
My daughter.
Go Ivanka Trump.
Yeah, how can a day?
Yeah, I'm sorry. That is fucking that
is gross stuff.
That's as creepy as watching those pictures of Joe Biden getting a little too invading people's spaces. You remember back in the day when he would like say farewell to someone?
Put his little hands on their shoulders.
Mrs. Fillmore pointed that out to me, and she goes, "What do you think of this?" And I go, "Is that like a family member?" She said that's the wife of one of his, I don't know, whatever, like his coworkers, or so one of his employees. I'm like, are they seeing each other?
I know, it's so awkward. Like,
it just looks like a still from a soap opera, like the evil, like gangster, like Sonny Corinthos or something, trying to, with his harem. Yeah. She still watches it. She lets it back up, and she watches, like, she's still keeping up with it. I think she's always about 6 months behind. Anyway, the lovable gangster, the lovable mafioso. Sorry,
Sonny
guys.
and Brenda, shout out.
There you go.
Ed, no.
But
he was right.
Lately, she's in all the ads.
Yeah.
Trump is doing a smart thing. I think
in person.
And the ads lately, she's unbelievable.
She's got big, full, real titties. I think they're real. I don't know. You don't think they are?
I don't know.
But big, full titties and very, stripped down, not full of makeup and stuff.
Right.
She looked real good.
I've always thought she was beautiful.
She was very beautiful. I even said, "Who's this pussy you're with?" This guy,
Now he's got to be
No, he was actually a nice kid. So I didn't say that. But
of course you didn't. You wouldn't have the balls to say any of this stuff. My God. Yeah, the guy who had to be held back because a gossip columnist, Beth, said, "Don't go back, and don't tear a yard off his ass," like he's Chuck Zito all of a sudden.
Oh, shut up! I love your intro, the one where he goes, "I'll sock you, and then I'll probably deck you." Like, what are you talking about? Like, you can't even trash talk in a manly fashion. Shut up.
You're right. These are words that like words from 50 years ago.
Like, Beaver, leave it to Beaver.
Exactly.
Are you sore? Ew.
I will sock you. I will pop you one in the eye, and I will incapacitate you. Jesus Christ. You will be taken away in an ambulance. God. Anyway, here we go, guys.
This asshole.
Yeah, who's this asshole you're with that's beating me in beer pong and causing me to get sick? But there was something I was going to tell you about the party.
You said it was gossip you learned.
Oh, yes. well, I'm sitting there going, I'm thinking, oh, Ivanka Trump must think I'm gross and disgusting,
Mm-hmm.
And I found out that because I was drunk, I was unaware. She was so excited that she was playing beer pong with me that she got one of her girlfriends to take pictures of the two of us playing beer pong.
You're kidding.
Surreptitious pictures because she wanted to show them to her father. She was so excited
Oh, my God.
that she was playing beer pong with me. Meanwhile, I'm like, that's not right, but whatever.
It's not right.
That's not right.
What's that have to do with it? And keep in mind, guys, he was still tight with, well, not tight, but he was still friendly with Donald back then. And Donald would still periodically do the show, although I think he was mostly phoners after a certain point.
That's not right.
Yeah.
You're at a party and you take a picture with people at the party. That's not right. What?
Right. He's so deathly afraid of photos that get out of him in the public that he can't control.
Yeah.
It's that wrong side of the face. It's, what's he look like in civvies? Like what's he wearing to parties? Because honestly, we've seen the fruity attire that he's been photographed in.
Is he trying to make it out like she was interested in him and flirting with him, and that's why it wasn't right? Like, what is he saying?
No, I think it's literally about, that could be, but I don't buy it because Captain Fruto, I think he's more just concerned with, remember that picture we post every now and then of him getting his nails done?
Yeah, that's a good
one. Like that one, I never ceases to make me laugh. He does look like some elder altercocker just going like, yes, and when you finish with that, buff the nails, sweetie, and two coats, please, thank you. And so I think it's just wanting a tight handle on stuff that gets out there photographically. There's another one. There's a clip where it's probably just 5 minutes long. He gets pissed off at, I think, the E! Show or Jason. I can't remember which, because there's a picture of, the pictures that Jason used to take at the end of an interview with the guest and Howard and or Robin.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the guest happened to be like really obviously really short. Jason having only so much space to go back with a basic lens, basic like kit lens, I suppose it was. Yeah, I can tell it's not a portrait lens. And Howard's like hunched over because he's so tall, and his one arm's off because he's trying to like get into the picture. He doesn't know that it doesn't have to be this big body shot. It just needs to be head and shoulders with the guest. Like
do a lean in like normal people.
Right, exactly. And then he learned, I got to sit on the couch so that we're all closer to the same height. Yeah. And so he gave him shit like, who takes this fucking photo? It's awful. Like, well, you get a guy that doesn't know how to take pictures give him a DSLR. That's like giving a monkey a fucking Maserati. And sorry, monkey's slightly less hairy than Jason is. But, anyway, I thought that was just insane that you're bitching about some guy that you tasked to do a job he had no idea about.
I know, he's just some dude.
Right, and
just some dude in the office.
I would suggest one of the E-Crew guys would be better with the camera than Jason will. So why won't you task one of them to come in who's not doing anything and just take the picture?
Of course, yeah.
Silliness.
She's secretly having you photographed.
So it turns out she's very impressed with me.
Wow.
Yeah, which made me go.
Yeah, look at you. You could have Ivanka.
I could get her.
You used to tease Donald and say, "What if I became your son-in-law?"
Yeah.
You could actually get her.
Yeah.
In what universe?
Stop. Just stop.
Yeah. No way.
Stop.
And then Billy I saw for 2 seconds. You don't even see
Is he at the party?
I don't think he liked it.
He's like the Great Gatsby.
Yeah, like he came by, he goes, "Hey." I go, "Hey." He goes, "Where's Beth?" I go, "I don't know." And that was it. That was our conversation.
Big friends.
I don't know, but isn't it funny he wanted to know where Beth was and didn't want to talk to Howard?
Well, I think if I can put my inspector's cap, my Inspector Clouseau or Columbo cap, or Angela Lansbury, and say he was probably thinking, why aren't you attached to the hip with Beth? Like, where is she that you're here? Why are you alone?
Oh, so it was a shock. It was like a surprised, where's Beth?
Or where is she? Because if she's not with you, what if she's with my wife doing coke or something?
that could be.
That's the other thing, because look, you've got Howard, you've got Billy Joel. What's the difference between the two of these? They both married a pair of grifters.
Mm-hmm.
Howard doesn't want her away because he doesn't trust her. Like if she's there somewhere at the party and he can keep like an eye on her eye line and sees what she's doing, he's fine. If she's off somewhere where he can't see, like in a garden shed or some gazebo doing lines, well, that's not right for him. That's just not good enough. Well, who's to say Billy's got the same problems with his own at the time?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. He just wants to see Beth.
Well, yeah, and mostly everyone just wanted to see Beth. I couldn't really hear much. There was loud DJ music.
Yeah.
And I sit there at these parties. I stress out. I go, I feel bad for the neighbor. You got to sit and listen to this loud fucking music. You know what I mean?
What do they play? Like, do they play Billy Joel?
No, AC/DC, rock.
Mr. Rock and Roll has a problem with the loud music with his classic rock.
What? He's worried about the neighbors?
Yeah.
Shut up, man. Shut up. Okay. I'm still sorry. What was the gossip?
This is what I don't understand. The gossip was that Billy Joel came up to him and asked, "Where's Beth?"
That was the gossip, or that Ivanka,
or that she took pictures of him.
But he knew the picture was being taken because he was in it.
Yeah.
That's not gossip.
No, it's not gossip. He doesn't know what that is.
Do you know what gossip is?
Guys, I have something to tell you, but gotta keep it between us. I finished off a burger. Like keep it on the down low.
I know.
Yeah, Bobby Flay set me up with his fucking BLT. It was amazing, but just that was between us. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's still a minute and 20 seconds left. Let's see if I did capture the gossip.
Classic rock. Mm-hmm. So they played a lot of that. It was good. It was a very, very fun, good party, and
you were there for a whole 2 hours. I wonder how long the party lasted.
It seemed like 10. So I had my full 10 hours of party. Well, that beer pong's a tough game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you're going to drink like that, if you're going to lose.
I find I'm better with games. Like if I have something to do at a party.
Like a project.
Yeah, and
like a kid. Lawn bowling. No, so that was the gossip. Billy Joel came up to him.
That is so stupid.
Can you imagine if that was the story he told, like a group of people gathered around at one of these fucking parties? They'd run in the opposite direction.
Of course he would. It's like we're all waiting for something and then just like a balloon deflates.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
That's your gossip? What?
That's a great story.
Oh fuck, he's Shark Twain.
I didn't want to talk to people, so this kept me busy.
You'd love a Jenga party, right?
Yeah.
They have that in the suburbs.
Horrible.
I told my kids afterwards, I said, I played a great game last night. I played beer pong. And they were like, oh.
Yeah, they've been playing it for years.
We're all champs at that. I go, you are? How do you know that?
See,
they could get you drunk.
You manned up the game, though.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Yes, Rosie?
He manned up the game? What?
Oh, Artie, bless you. He's trying.
Yeah, he's trying so hard, yeah.
He saw me. And Ross, I'm playing against him. This guy's got, he can drink 50,000 shots and not get drunk. So
I don't believe so. No. I'd say Ross, like we've talked about this before. Ross is like he's like the Matterhorn. He's fucking he's the Grand Canyon. There's not enough booze to fucking complete him.
No, he would act like that.
But he is a drunk asshole, I'm sure, after the same amount of booze that would take most fucking shitheads. Anyway, well, a little bit more.
Ross gets drunk.
Yeah.
I've seen Ross drunk.
Yeah. He had that look in his eye like I did.
Yeah, well, you probably couldn't tell.
Like two wolves.
He was drunk because you were drunk.
Two wolves on the prowl.
Right.
Anyway.
Wolves?
Wolves on the prowl. Wait, he's... Oh, God, Howard. Okay.
He's an anteater, and a big gorilla on the prowl.
Like two wolves?
Two wolves.
When I think of wolves, like
Peter and the
it's
wolf.
not you. I'll tell you that right now. It is not him. Oh my God, dork.
Yeah, totally.
Both like David Duchovny when he sees a computer.
I went into rehab.
You should walk into a Hollywood party and David Duchovny's fucking a computer.
Anyway, guys, I think that's the last of it. I don't know. I don't know if you guys got as much out of it as we did, but we hope you did. Any shout outs, my dear?
Yeah, I want to tell Derek, don't suck it. I was just kidding.
Yes.
But otherwise, I'm so happy that Raven is back, and I love hearing her. I just do. And I love everyone. Everyone is so lovely on this team, this crew, whatever you want to call. And I mean that.
Well, yeah, it's not like this is not something I had. This is we arranged for Kayla to say this. She's got it written out here, like some cigar store Indian or something. But the thing is, with everybody that's involved now, it's so effortless now. It really is just people setting up a time and going, hey, look, let's do this. Let's pick a subject. What do you want to do? C.A. Thompson, like I said, gave me a great wraparound that I hadn't considered. I had, but I just didn't know which way to approach it. And we're going to go forward with it because I said, anybody who wants this such and such, you got dibs. You got to call dibs on that.
Yeah,
I mean, like who was it? Jay, I can't remember Jay. Like Bob wanted the O'Reilly interview. He wanted to do that.
Yeah.
And I said, "You good? It's yours. It's yours. You've claimed it." But and we're going to hopefully record that next week. He's quite busy. He's got some weird times now, and so he's still going to be going forward with QF. And Benjamin is, like I said, still busy, guys. But I'm going to be recording with him as well, and hopefully getting into the education of Rob and stuff, which I can't wait.
That's
and
awesome.
If you want to get in on sit in on some of those, please let me know.
Yes, please. Yes, please. You know Robin's my favorite. I love
don't
the
know
Robin
that,
ones.
but you're telling me now, so I'll remember that. Are you down with? I mean, I think we did it justice at the old place, but I wouldn't mind redoing with better audio now the Quivers of Life book for the purposes of, if you want to. If you want to, we can do that. I remember it verbatim, but I can buy another copy. We can do it.
Yeah, I would love to. I really would. I love Robin. I think she's insane, but she's entertaining to me.
Yeah. Do you have a copy of the book, Quivers of Life?
No, but I can get one very easily.
Yeah. Let's online, and you send me the bill. This is homework. This is like, I have no problem with that. Anyway, guys, now I got to explain to Mrs. Fillmore, why did this book come back? Didn't you throw this out? I go, I did, but
need it again.
Yeah, unfortunately, the old place washed me out of the fucking. I mean, I have it, but the audio is so bad, and we did such a great job with Benjamin. But this will be able to do this one justice as well. At any rate, thank you so much, my dear. God bless you. You're always a treat to record with, and you're so good on the show. And I hope you have a phenomenal weekend. And next week we're going to be doing the star thing, the astrological thing with Raven.
That's right. We are. We're going to do our astrology
part 2, but this time it's going to be Ralph. And is it Ben and Ray? Ralph?
I'm bringing Ralph
Artie?
to talk about. I think Raven has selected Wiggy and Ray, which will be interesting. Yes. And I have a little surprise for you, sir. I am doing your astrology report. Yep, and I'm going to send it to you beforehand.
Guys, I'm going in as the big dum-dum to represent all of the fellow dum-dums who know nothing about this as before. But I'll make sure that my mic is properly fixated, and she's got you're not hearing webcam audio. So thank you, my dear. So have a great week, and everybody else, we love you. On behalf of everybody at QF, take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay cool.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing great.
If you weren't a boxer, what would you be doing?
To lie to somebody.
Do you think there should be random drug testing for athletes?
Yeah, but most athletes are more clean anyway. They just go to a head thing. I mean, they just make everything clean, so yeah, they should.
Can't believe he went into boxing.